everybody, welcome back to Great Northwest Weaponry. This is Thomas, and today we are doing the 7,000 subscriber celebration. Something I did not think we'd be doing this year. So thank you all very much. Actually, at the 2022 year-end wrap-up, I declared that I was hoping that we would reach 5,000 subscribers at the end of this year. That would have been in keeping with our growth up to this point. But we're going to be talking about analytics and some what to expect for the next couple months. At the end of the video, here in the middle, I thought we'd do something a little different. We're going to talk about some of the different aspects of my collection and about collecting in general with, military surplus firearms, as that is the focus of my collection. People collect this stuff for a lot of different reasons and in a lot of different ways, actually. So for myself, you can start with the genesis of it. I like military guns. The history behind them is what interests me more than anything. The mechanisms are cool, and that is an aspect of it that definitely some people focus more on. For me, it is the history that I find interesting. As such, my collection ranges from the 1880s to the 1950s. And that is pretty much the range that I'll probably be staying in for quite some time. I might eventually expand farther in either direction, but before we go any farther onto the details of, again, the different aspects of how I collect, I'd like to know about your collection. So if you have a collection or are looking to get into it, let me know what your focus is. Because, again, this is something that it's both an eye of the beholder thing, but it kind of can fall into a lot of different niches. And there's definitely overlap in my collection between, maybe one subcategory of the collection to another. But if you were to just generalize it, it is military firearms that interest me. From there, you can break it down into time periods. So pre-World War I, World War I, World War II, Cold War. That is basically the three, or four, I guess, math, not even math, just counting, simple elementary school counting I'm bad at even. Ugh. Anyway, pre-World War I, World War I, World War II, 1950s. Cold War era. Those are the four time periods that you could break my collection down into. From there, you can get even more specific. Show you an example. Collecting by country of origin. So I am a proud American, and one of the larger subcategories within my collection is American firearms. We've got here a Smith & Wesson model 1917, Colt DA-38 model of 1894, oldest pistol I actually own, by the way. World War I Colt model 1911. Winchester American Enfield model 1917. Springfield model 1903. And Smith Corona model 1903 A3. From here, we could get even more specific if we take the 03 A3 out of the equation and the DA-38. Now all we have is World War I manufacturer American firearms. So again, if you start military firearms, era, or country, but then again, there's the overlap where we could do by era and by country. And again, there's a lot of different aspects to collecting that I observe because the umbrella of military covers a lot, but there definitely are specific interests for me. American and German have always been two that I found definitely more interesting than most, but also the Japanese and British stuff. And there's other categories as well. For instance, I would call this collecting from a particular family of firearms. So all four of these rifles are different variants of the Carcano. That is the pronunciation I'm sticking with. Someone's probably going to correct me on it. From my understanding, that is the original pronunciation, but even that statement someone may disagree with. There are multiple ways to pronounce that word. But anyway, so we've got model 1891 long rifle, the original. And then we've also got a Type I Japanese Carcano. This is actually a kind of an obscure one. The model 1938 in 7.35, and then one of the more common and cheaper ones, the model 1891 Moschetto cavalry carbine. Again, this is just an example. I've actually got more than one example of this idea of collecting by type, I guess. So a couple of different Arasakas, of which the Type I almost fits into that category as well. But this could also be like just collecting Mausers or various different iterations of the Mauser 98 design. So I've got a Gewehr 98 and a Kar 98K, for instance. But then you can get even more specific. There are some people who want every single manufacturer of a specific brand or a specific model. So like, say, the 1891 long rifle, you will find people who might be interested in having every manufacturer of every year of the production of just this gun. You see this happen a lot with Kar 98Ks, actually. I've met a number of people who have massive collections of just the Kar 98K, or with pistols, the Luger, for instance. You'll see people who want, you know, a double date example, a World War I example, a World War II example, Black Widow, Bolo model, you know, every version of it that they can get their hands on, or I guess Bolo would actually be the broom handle. So Navy model or artillery model Luger with the longer barrel and the stock. I would potentially get into that aspect of the collecting at some point down the road, but right now, for myself, generally, I want one of each different kind of gun that I can get my hands on. You may find that when getting into collecting, or if you are a ways into it, you very well could have already experienced this, that there may be even more obscure or harder to quantify aspects of collecting that interest you. For me, this started with the CZ Model 1927. This is actually the first military surplus firearm I ever acquired. What I wanted was a Luger P08, but I could not afford one at the time. The CZ Model 1927 was the cheapest World War II pistol that was available in my area, that I found interesting. From there, that kind of snowballed into just a general love of World War I and II pocket pistols, 32s specifically. So we've got several of them. We've got kind of over here, my FN Model 1922, CZ27, Femeru, Walther PP, Mauser Model 1914. I've had others. There have definitely been guns that have come and gone from the collection as time has gone on. I've been doing this for about 7 years now. But as I say, that is kind of an aspect of it that I would have found maybe a little harder to quantify right out of the gate. Didn't really think of that as an angle that I'd approach it from, and it definitely is now. There are several guns that I would like to have in my collection that fall into that category. So whether you're collecting for the era that it was made, where it was made, the type of weapon it is, there's a ton of different aspects of the hobby to find interesting. And for myself, I kind of have cherry-picked a bit of all of that, with the exception of, again, duplicates isn't something that I have ever been particularly interested in. But if I got to the point that I had, you know, one of every available military surplus gun that I could get my hands on, I might start finding being a little bit more specific about it with, again, guns such as the Kar 98K. Might find that interesting, having multiple different manufacturers for multiple different years. As I said at the outset of this, it is very much an eye of the beholder thing, and you might not know what you find interesting until you experiment with it a bit and get a couple of guns in your collection. Or you may go into it knowing exactly what you want, go straight for the high dollar item that you've had your eye on since you were a child, and stick with that forevermore. But for myself, it is an evolving hobby. And I do find that the more I get, the more I want generally. So there's really no bottom to it if you really get into it. But again, I would like to know what your interests are. What aspect of the hobby do you find most interesting? I keep on throwing around the word interesting. It's the best descriptive word for that. But now that we've talked about that a little bit, we close out the video with some analytics and what we're going to be looking forward to throughout the rest of this year. I've got some notes here because this is just too much for me to keep track of all in my head. At the outset of the video, we had stated that this is more or less a 7,000 subscribers celebration, but also just the fact that we hit 7,000 subscribers so fast after I had stated that I was hoping that we'd maybe over the next 12 months, or from now 9 months, eventually hopefully hit 5,000, and we blew that goal out of the water. So I need loftier goals. Say conservatively 12,000. I would like to see us hit 12,000 subscribers at the end of the year. If we keep going at half of the current rate of subscriptions, we could potentially hit that. So that would be more again than I've ever thought that we would or could hit with this channel. This is just my passion project, but you guys seem to be taking interest. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have in front of me, again, some ideas, basically, because I've got just too many ideas rolling around in my head at once. So this piece of paper right here is important. This is just video ideas, and as you can see, there are a lot. I had a kind of a volume 1 that I showed, I think, when we did the year-end wrap-up for 2022. It may have been after that. It may have been when we did the video release schedule video. I have tons of ideas of different types of videos to do going forward. For instance, so we've got videos here, shorts here, and there's even more on the back. But we've got demos, day at the range videos, versus videos, part 2 demos, and some just miscellaneous. And then for shorts, POV rifle shooting, POV pistol shooting, first shots shorts, field strip shorts. We've actually done most of these, or at least shot. And if you see anything that has a star next to it, that means the video has been shot and or posted. I've got a couple of new ideas for segments for shorts, such as fix bayonets type of videos where no talking, I just any rifle that I have a bayonet for, affix the bayonet, load it, fire off, however many rounds it holds, and maybe have that set to the music that we use for the tabletop disassembly shorts. That music, it's also what you heard, I guess, at the beginning of this video. That is an original composition, I guess. I was just sitting on my couch watching Yellowstone, and I was like, my videos need music. I'm gonna just play around with my acoustic until I find something that I like, and that is what came to be. I've had a number of people ask about it, that's why I bring it up. That is an original. If you like that type of music, I would suggest that you check out Justin Johnston. He's definitely one of my biggest inspirations for that style of music. I play a weird array of music because everything from that to like Gojira and Slipknot. Like I like metal, and I like soothing swamp blues as well, and old country like Waylon Jennings is one of my favorites. So a weird array of music. But anyway, got a ton of ideas. I also had another idea, kind of like a pistol showcase, where maybe, show some close-ups of different angles of the pistol, get a couple different views of shooting it, and again, no talking, just have those set to music. Let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see me give that a try? A number of them would be ones that I could do pretty much immediately, just anything that I have ammo for, and in case of rifles, if it has either an attached or attachable bayonet. And then we get to the actual release schedule. I have a written out release schedule, anything that is filled in, and this video actually falls right around there, I believe, somewhere. But again, I've got so many ideas rolling around in my head, it's hard to keep track of it all. So until April, we're going to be releasing something every 2 or 3 days. So again, right now we're releasing this video on the 24th. So we're actually shooting this on the 20th in advance. We've got a short that will be posted later today. And then on the 22nd, another short. And then today, the 24th, the thank you for 7,000 subscribers video. I'm trying to do, 2 or 3 shorts between each video until the end of April. I've got this scheduled up to April 29th. The next, anything after April 29th will be in May. So after April 29th, I'm probably going to slow down a bit and go back to the 1 video every 10 days without, cramming so much all at once. It is definitely hard to shoot this much content. I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. But right now I'm putting out enough content that I am having a hard time keeping up with it. So I will be posting videos on approximately the 5th, 15th, and 25th of every month, with 1 or 2 shorts in between, and they'll be staggered. So if I only do one, it'll be, from the 5th to, say, the 10th, then there'll be a short, and then on the 15th, another video. Or it might be a matter of, post video, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 days short, 1, 2, 3 days short, 1, 2, 3 days video. Just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect going forward. But again, that won't be starting until April 27th. Until April 27th, we have a video at the minimum of every 3 days. Some of them are like a day and a half apart, and I've got that all scheduled out, and we've got videos shot and ready to go for up to April 7th. Part of the reason that I wanted to get so much content ready to go all the way up until April 7th from, again, I started compiling this list at March 13th, and from the 13th through the 7th, we've got a video every 2 to 3 days. I'm going to be on vacation starting later today. Like, I'm uploading this video, and then I am going on vacation for the next, 7 or 8 days. I wanted to have a couple of shorts ready to go and a video ready to go for the moment I get back. So upon my return, I will be posting the Luger P08 versus Walther P38, one that I've wanted to do for a while. And if you've watched to this point in the video, I'm just going to tell you, we'll definitely be doing it again because the results were kind of inconclusive. But you'll have to watch the video to find out what I mean by that. Anyway, so goals, release content. Had to boost up my subscriber goal because we smashed the previous one. At the moment of recording this, we're at 7,055. By the time I post it, I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to 7,250 or so. Could even be higher than that, unless it slows down, of which it could, of which wouldn't bother me. It's actually weirder to me that I'm getting subscribers at the rate that I currently am than not. Just some other analytical references to show how massive the jump has been. Our all-time channel views during the year-end wrap-up was just shy of 500,000. We are over 1.5 million now, and we're only 3 months into the year. That was 3 years for 500,000, and we've gotten fully 1 million in the past not even 3 months. This translates to subscribers massively as we ended 2022 at 3,115 subscribers, and we have more than doubled that, and again, we're not even 3 months in. So this is weird to me that this much attention has been shown, and again, it's not huge. That's a pretty small number by comparison to a large YouTube channel, even to just a larger gun channel. The gun community on YouTube is definitely, one of the smaller communities because YouTube nerfs it to heck because they don't want our channels to be big because YouTube, I guess. Hope I didn't ramble too much here. Let me know, do you like these updates? I know that, some of the more long-time subscribers have watched and commented on most of the update videos that I've posted, but I'd like to know you guys' opinion. Is this the type of thing that maybe every quarter of a year, say, or half a year, you'd like to hear updates? For 10,000 subs, if and when we get there, I do intend on doing something cool, hopefully. We'll see. My hope is if it goes long enough that I can afford to do this, I want to go back and shoot some more machine guns, but we'll see what happens. Don't hold me to that. But anyway, yeah, just again, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time.